Welcome to Sounds Sketchy, the show where we take characters from concept to creation. I'm Jeffrey, a voice actor and artist. What we do on this channel is take a random prompt, then turn it into a character with a visual design, voice, and personality. Then we alternate with an episode where we interview them and get to know them even better. Let's get started with our prompt. Today is a drawing episode, and our prompt will be a deft, comforting psychiatrist. Yep, this is what I want. So, a deft, comforting psychiatrist. Well, let's get a little stashy-washy in here. I think that would be very nice, yes. A deft. So, I want to juxtapose a little bit. And my pen is working amazingly well today. Let's see how well this holds up. So, I've drawn the Monopoly Man, is what I've apparently done. And let's get this a little better. Here we go. Now, for this guy, oh no, this is not that kind of layer. Okay, well, for Clip Studio Paint, and for drawing tablets in general, drawing programs, there are two types of layers. A layer is, think of it like a piece of paper. And what's really cool is that with digital layouts and digital programs, you can just make a new layer every time you want to add a new detail. I like this hair. Let's keep that, and let's make a nice comb over for our friend. Something like this. What's really fun about that is it's much easier to go over an area and not mess anything up, in case you're worried about that sort of thing. But there are two types of layers. You have a regular layer where everything interacts as if it's... Oh, I just got my idea. That's really funny. I'm going to rip off of another very famous deft psychiatrist. Well, he's primarily known for his work with pipes and turtles, but let's see. So, what was I saying? Right, layers. So, with vector layers, that acts like the line that you draw is made up of a bunch of different connective points, and you can manipulate and draw those points, and it acts as an additional layer of data. So there are things you can do like erase a line, and it only erases up to that bend point, that wherever that data is telling you to go. So I don't have that layer enabled on this drawing, and that's okay. So I'm just going to do it more of a manual style. And let's get as close as I can to replicating. You know, actually, there's I don't want necessarily anybody coming after me, but I think we could just say this is Mario, or a guy that looks a lot like Mario. You know, may not be Mario per se. Now I need a little headband here. Great. I probably shouldn't do the theme either. I might get monetized strike. or I'm not even monetized. My copyright striked. Anyway, if you want to help me get monetized, go ahead and throw a follow and subscribe. I will make this character on this episode, and the next one I will interview them. I'm going to try to do that for at least a little bit to see if it makes the workload a little easier, because I was able to reliably keep up with a schedule when I was just doing the drawing, but once I tried to throw in the animation part, that's what really took me for a loop. Now, speaking of loop, I want to get a nice pose for our guy here. So if he's deft, let's make this his foot. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. You should always draw your line first. Yeah. And that way we get our nice doctor's coat. And there is a lot going on outside that might get picked up on the mic. Sorry about that. Part of living in the Bronx. Let's get a little ID tag. Yeah. And I now have the theme stuck in my head, the theme that I said I should not hum. Here we go. And so there's the obvious, I could really make this just a full rip-off, or I could take it a little step further and add an extra little loop of surprise, and that's usually what I like to do. I want to give him a little tush, not a big one, just a little. Which direction do I want his spine going? Yes, that way. So a little tush. That should just really be an extension of his coat here. So let's extend that coat down. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try doing a slightly different format for at least a little bit, just because my schedule is so erratic at the moment. I'm basically a freelancer. I have some jobs, but they are all very much ebb and flow. Some of them are even seasonal. So when there's work, it's hard to not take it, and therefore, it can be really hard to keep up. If I miss the one day I was hoping to record and I don't end up recording for some reason, then I don't want to really overdo it and overextend myself, trying to keep up with too punishing of a schedule. So as I'm still figuring things out, I'm just going to stick to just the drawing on one episode, and then I will do the interviews, which I have really been enjoying for the next one. I've really been enjoying the interviews, and on the alternating week, I will do an upload for specifically just to do the interview. And now I want to give my guy some of those rubber shoes, some Crocs. I think his toe box might need to be a little wider for this. But yeah, so we'll give that a try for a little bit and see how it goes. Again, primarily I want to just keep things fun and light and easy, while still pushing myself and just pushing my artistic creativity and my voice acting more so than pushing my physical health and well-being. I don't like how that leg is positioned. What can I do to make this seem a little more polished? Okay. What if I did something like this is the straight leg? Yes. And this is the bent leg. Yeah. Okay. Great. That's better. Let's go with that. And great. Now let's come up with a name for this guy. Let's call him Dr. What? Well, he's deft. He's comforting, and he's a psychiatrist. I forgot the comforting part. I gotta kind of factor in how that's gonna play out here. So what if the comforting is in his name? Something like Dr. Soft or Dr. Fix It, Dr. Feel Good. Another thing that I do not want to risk getting in trouble for. I made him a little too long. I'm going to have to move him up here. And when you're stuck, just draw a shape and picture this and give it a little more. Yeah, that's looking better. Okay. Sometimes when you're really struggling with something, drawing something, it just do the most basic of shapes, and usually that will get you where you need to go. So, what's a comforting word? Dr. Pancakes. Dr. Pancakes. Dr. Flapjack. Dr. Pouquet. Dr. Pancake. But everybody calls him Dr. Pancake. But everybody calls him Dr. Pancake. Because he loves pancakes, I guess. I need to rethink this a little bit more. Still not quite right. There we go. Now we got all these crock holes. That sounds really bad. Cool. So, Dr. Pancakes. Here we go. He's a comforting Dr. Pancakes. So wait, is he a reality show TV host then? A deft, comforting psychiatrist. Well, psychiatrist. So that's prescribing pills, right? There's psychologist and psychiatrist. So psychiatrist is medication. It's medicine based, and psychologist is mental, like therapy. I'm probably slandering both careers right now, but psychology does not prescribe medication. They do more mind work, I guess is the best way. Somebody tell me what it is. Correct me. So anyway, let's get our griddle. So let's say this is Dr. Panka? No. Dr. Pucake? Dr. Paka? This is Dr. Panake, but everybody calls him Dr. Pancake. Dr. Panake. Yeah, Dr. Panake. I like that, Dr. Panake. And he's got a griddle. And in that griddle, you've got some grilled up pancakes. That's the other reason why they call him Dr. Pancake. But on these pancakes is food and pills. Now I'm not saying eat pills with your pancakes, kids, but I am saying Dr. Piquet. Yeah. Dr. Piquet. That's Doctor. Piquet. Yeah. Dr. Piquet. Dr. Pancake. Dr. Pancake? Dr. Piquet. I like Dr. Piquet. So Dr. Piquet is here to save the day, and everybody calls him Dr. Pancake because he heals people with food. That sounds fun. And, what non-Italian based voice is he gonna have? Dr. Piquet. Well, I think if he's got a comforting voice, he's probably just very deep-spoken. And, I think probably he's just got a really nice voice. And he's got such a lovely mustache. And I think that mustache is kind of the whole thing that ties it all together. I think I will leave it so that he has brown hair. Let me put the rest of his hair on his head. And let's see, little Timmy. How are you feeling today? Oh, that's too bad. Let me see. I think what you could use is some nice breakfast. Breakfast does wonders for growing young boys like yourself. And wait a minute. What if I give him curly hair that looks a little bit like a chef's hat? Yeah. So he's got a little bit of a curly hair, chef's hat sort of deal going on. I like that. I like that a lot. I like this guy. Dr. Piquet. All right. So, Dr. Piquet, I would prescribe the patient with 3 healthy square meals a day, and also make sure to give a certain dosage of 2 aspirin to treat the pain, and take 2 and call me in the morning, and I'm off to my next guest. So, I cannot be stopped. I cannot be delayed. There are more people that need pancakes, and I have to run back to the kitchen every single time. But I will not rest until everybody can rest. Ah! All right. And that's Dr. Piquet, and that will be it for today. Tune in next week when we'll have our interview. If you like this video, leave a like, consider subscribing, and if you'd like to support me further, there is a link to my Patreon in the description below. Thanks for tuning in, hope to see you next week, and as always, I encourage you to draw your own conclusions. Bye-bye!